Welcome to Proven and Probable, where we focus on metals, mining, and more. I'm your host, Maurice Jackson. Today, we will discuss a company that has established itself as a premier project generator. I'm speaking of Millrock Resources, trading on the TSXV, symbol MRO, and on the OTCQX, symbol MLRKF. Joining us today is the President, CEO, and Director of Millrock Resources, Gregory Beischer. Before we begin, allow me to convey to our listeners that Millrock Resources is a sponsor of Proven and Probable, and that we are proud shareholders of Millrock Resources for the virtues we will convey in today's message. Mr. Beischer, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Maurice. Glad to be here.
Last week, Millrock announced some exciting news on the El Picacho project, along with Centerra Gold, located in Sonora, Mexico. For those that missed the interview, please provide us with a brief overview.
Sure. Yep. This is the first project to flow out of our strategic alliance with Centerra Gold. Quite happy about it. It's a solid gold exploration project with very similar geologic attributes as are present at the San Francisco gold mine, which is really quite close by, perhaps 15 or 20 kilometers away. This mine produces gold profitably at today's price, and we think there could be another major gold deposit on our claims. So we'll get underway with exploration, and we'll report back to you soon on that.
Now, sticking with Sonora, Mexico, Millrock Resources continues to make strategic moves that benefits its shareholders, this time by way of an option agreement to purchase another gold project. Provide us with the details on this.
Sure. The project's called La Navidad, and it's quite a good project, a bit more advanced stage. In this case, we were able to make a purchase agreement with the owner that had discovered gold and drilled what appears to be a small deposit about 20 years ago. Now, they haven't pursued anything really since then. And so we think not only can we reestablish the gold resource that's in the ground, but we think there's excellent exploration potential to expand this resource. So we were able to make the deal, but it's actually a little bit more advanced than Millrock would otherwise be able to handle. But because we have the financial backing of Centerra, we were able to pursue it. So we'll get to work on this project right away too. We're having a planning meeting in our office in Hermosillo, Mexico as we speak, and the plans will emerge from there, but I suspect that we'll be drilling on La Navidad in a very short order.
Talk to us about the scale of this. How many hectares are we talking here?
Well, it's quite a huge project, actually, because Millrock had acquired concessions all around the core Navidad claim block that we have an option to purchase. So that's part of our strategy always, is to try and get the whole district if we can. That way, if there's multiple deposits, we have all of them. And that's always very attractive to our major company partners as well.
And that's 25,000 hectares, am I correct?
Yes, that's a big piece of real estate.
And the mineralized trend, let's talk about that for a second, is what, 2.2 kilometers in distance, and the width in meters is 300 to 600. Is that correct?
That's what's being outlined so far, yes. It's fairly obvious at surface where it outcrops, and we can trace it over that 2 kilometer distance. It's a silicified, bright red hematitic zone. So the rocks are quite red and altered, and that allows us to trace this series of faults that are exposed over a fairly broad area, like you say, 300 to 600 meters outcrop width. And so, it's definitely got size potential.
And if I'm not mistaken on this is also low angle faults?
Yes, these are low angle faults near surface mineralization. And therefore, if there is a big gold deposit there, it'll be relatively easy to get at through open pit mining methods.
Now, one of the virtues I like about Millrock Resources is how you structure these deals. Talk to us about the exit strategy should the results not come back favorable.
Well, yes, we always try to make option to purchase agreements in these situations. The owners wanted quite a lot of money for the property. We settled on a price tag of $2.5 million. However, if we structure it so that it's an option deal, we make payments over time. And the initial year's payments are relatively low, just $125,000 per year. So that allows us the time to do the exploration work necessary to determine whether we really want to pay the final balloon payment of $2 million to exercise the purchase option. And we can exit anytime. We, of course, will lose whatever money we've invested to that point. But we can assess the geology, see if there's a valuable deposit before we make that big payment.
Gregory, switching gears, let's go to British Columbia, where Millrock Resources has even more great news regarding the Oweegee Dome and the Willoughby projects. What can you share with us?
Sure, yeah, it's the Oweegee Dome project that's got a great potential for a copper porphyry. Like the neighboring Seabridge KSM deposit, very favorable geology. Willoughby has got some great high-grade gold mineralization, but we've announced an agreement today with Sojourn Ventures, Inc. This is a Vancouver junior company, well-backed, and they'll take on the project. Millrock will actually execute the exploration in the first year on our own projects on behalf of Sojourn. And so this should be a good partnership. We're excited to see these projects advancing. Maurice, it was just about 2 years ago now that we bought up these projects at the very bottom of the market at what I consider to be quite low prices. And now shareholders are realizing the benefits from that. We're able to vend the projects at a higher price and move them forward with exploration and hopefully a big discovery.
That's one of the ethos and virtues that Rick Rule of Sprott Global Resource Investments always shares with me, is that you have to have courage and conviction, and Millrock Resources has demonstrated that resolve year after year. Gregory, before we leave, last question for you. What did I forget to ask?
Well, Maurice, I guess you forgot to ask about the Sprott conference that's coming up in July. I know that you're going to be there, and I look forward to seeing you in person again. That's a great conference. The price of gold has been creeping up, bouncing up against $1,300 US per ounce the last little while. I think there's a chance it's going to break through that barrier, and there might be a lot of happy investors at this conference. I really feel like now is the time to accumulate shares in junior mining companies. There's some, I think a good bull market coming, and that investors are going to make some good money in our sector again for a change.
For our listeners, it speaks volumes when the preeminent name of the natural resource space, Sprott Global Resource Investments, hand selects Millrock Resources year after year to be an exhibitor, because the selection criteria is very extensive and meticulous. Gregory, if someone listening wants to get more information regarding Millrock Resources, please share the contact details.
Sure, Maurice. Yeah, we're actually very pleased to be counted amongst that select group of companies that participates in the Sprott Investor Conference. If you want to get in touch with Millrock for any reason to learn more, you can talk to Melanie Henderson at our Vancouver office. You can get that phone number by calling up our website, millrockresources.com.
And last but not least, please visit our website, www.provenandprobable.com, where we interview the most respected names in the natural resource space. You may reach us at contact@provenandprobable.com. Gregory Beischer of Millrock Resources, thank you for joining us today on Proven and Probable.
Thank you for joining us today on Proven and Probable. Remember to like and subscribe for more conversations with the most respected names in the natural resource space. Check out our website at www.provenandprobable.com. The information presented on Proven and Probable is provided for educational and informational purposes only, without any express or implied warranty of any kind, including warranties of accuracy, completeness, or fitness for any particular purpose. The information is not intended to be and does not constitute financial, investment, or trading advice, or any other advice. You should not make any financial, investment, or trading decision based on any of the information presented without first undertaking independent due diligence and consultation with a professional broker or competent financial advisor.